And this is gonna be my last video. This is actually my third video. I don't know when I'm gonna, drop them all and when they'll all be public and viewable. But this is my third one in a row. And in this one, I want to talk about what's known as abortion. Now, I don't keep up with what's going on in the world at all. I just don't give a fuck. But I did notice, I'm in the world, so I can't help but hear shit, and I don't know, there was some shit about, Roe versus Wade. I don't even know if that has anything to do with abortion. So maybe I shouldn't even mention that. I think it does, though. But whether it does or not, I had been hearing, in different places about, I guess the abortion decision or some shit was overturned to where, I don't know. I don't know enough to speak about it. But what I'm going to say is I've been hearing a lot about it. I've been seeing signs, like when I walk my dog, I've been seeing signs in people's yard of pro-choice. And I just been hearing, a lot more, hearing and seeing it, like on social media as I'm scrolling, I'll see like a pro-choice post and I'll scroll by that shit because I don't give a fuck. And, fucking advertisements or billboards, like, I see the shit. And I noticed I had been seeing more of it than, like, because prior to this, like, whatever happened prior to it, I wasn't seeing nothing like that. So I want to talk about it. Like when I laugh, I'm not always laughing at shit because I think it's funny. Sometimes it's just out of just complete disbelief and shock, right? Like when it comes to what they call abortion, like I don't understand how this is even an issue. Like, I don't even understand how there are people in favor of this. What is abortion? Abortion is murder. It's baby murder. So there are people that are actually fighting for the right to be able to murder babies. Like, what the fuck kind of world am I in? Like, what the fuck kind of society is this? Where this has been going on for fucking decades. That there is a group of people in this society that feel they should have the right to kill babies. Shit just leaves me speechless sometimes. Like, what the fuck? Like, why am I here? Like, I have no business here. And there are, and I don't know, I'm sure there's women and men, but I feel like women are at the forefront of this movement. And there are women that are actually upset, like pissed off, because they want to be able to kill a baby if they want to. And like, what the fuck kind of woman is this? Like, you are in the darkest of darkness. You are in the fucking the depths of darkness. I think that's a stupid word the way it's spelled. Like, you know how Just pronouncing the P and the T and the H. But you know what I mean. Like, damn. That shit is just unfathomable to me. And so, you know, I'm familiar with like the arguments to a degree. It's like I said, I don't keep up with the shit, but you know, I'm in the world. I can't help but hearing the shit sometimes. Seeing it. Like I've driven past fucking protests, pro-life and pro-choice protests. I've seen them with the signs out and blow your horn for your support and, you know, groups outside of what I'm going to call baby murdering clinics, because that's what abortion is. Let's just call it what it is. You know, every time, you know, there's an agenda that the powers that be, whoever the fuck these people are, want us to accept, they changed the name of it. So it would be less acceptable, less, like, it's just hard to hear baby murderer. It's hard to hear that. You know, if a woman goes into a baby murdering clinic, right? The conversation is not, I want to kill my baby, right? They use language that makes it easier to go through with the process. They start sounding real professional, and they're really careful in their choice of words. They say shit like terminate the pregnancy. And what they're doing is trying to disconnect you, you know, as far as like disconnect you emotionally from the whole, from the life that's developing inside of you, and basically kind of get you into a place to where you're not really considering it as a life at all. So that, you know, that's the trickery that they use to make it more acceptable. And so they change, you know, they call it abortion or pregnancy, you know, termination. And they probably call it some other shit too. But whatever the fuck you call it, you're killing a baby. You're murdering a baby. Period. You're taking a life. And so, okay, I'm going to say this, then I'm going to go there. So, life grows. Okay, so I don't know. I guess since there's confusion on what life is, death doesn't grow. So a woman becomes impregnated as soon as that, I don't know the terminology, but as soon as growth and developing begins to take place, that is life. Because death does not grow. Death doesn't develop. Only life grows and develops and evolves. I forgot. Oh, I know where I want to go. So, like what I've heard a few things about a few things that are supposed to support the woman's right to murder a baby. One of those things, the biggest one by far, the biggest argument I see women use, or that I hear women use, they want to have the right to murder their baby, is I should be able to do what I want with my body. all of the pro-choicers. Look at that very attractive name. Like, whoever thought of that name, that was fucking genius. Pro-choice, that just makes you want to hop on until you realize what they really mean by pro-choice. But again, this is what they do. They change the name. They have to change the name to make it more appealing. It shouldn't be called pro-choice at all. Like, if they were honest about it, it would just be called baby murderers. Because that's what they are. Or that's what they want to be. Or that's, they're fighting for. I just learned some shit about that too. How that whole thing was started. But let me go over here where I was going. I should write this down. Hold on. Because I don't want to forget this. Because I really want to talk about it. But I'm going to talk about. Give me a second. Just don't go away. Okay. So, women say they should have the right to do what they want with their own bodies. And I agree. Right? That shouldn't even be a discussion. Obviously, the government doesn't feel that way, though, because using that same argument, prostitution should be legal. A woman should be able to sell her body if she wants to. It's her body. Right? But why is a woman put in jail for selling her body? Maybe she got a gift and she's using it. Excuse me. She's not hurting nobody. Fuck, I keep fucking burping. Shit. I gotta figure out why. I think I drink too much orange juice. But anyway. A woman and a man, they meet on the street. Man is like, what's up, baby? How much? The woman is like, I don't know. What do you want? You want head or you want full service? And the guy is like, I don't know. Full service. Like, I want head and I want to fuck. The woman says $50. Guy says, okay, hop in. She hops in. They go to her. Boom, boom, boom. Where's the crime in that? Just because what? The crime in that? The fucking crime is the government can't collect any taxes on that. That's the crime. I think that's probably the only reason. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, she's doing what she wants to do. She should be allowed to. He's doing what he wants to do. There's a mutual agreement between adults, between consenting adults. That's not a crime. But that's an example of a woman doing what she wants with her own body and how it's punished. And nobody's fighting for them. Nobody's marching and saying a woman should be able to do what she wants with her own body. Nobody's protesting outside of jails. When it comes to baby murder, that is not an example of a woman doing what she wants to do with her body. Baby murder is taking the life away from another body. Because baby murder is not, you're not the baby. The baby is a separate life of his or her own. That's a separate life. That's not your body. That boy or girl is inside of your body. That's not your body. Like, I don't even understand how this is the main argument. Like, how does this make sense to so many people when it's just obvious? Like, there's two bodies. There's your body, and then there's this little body growing and developing inside of you. So that argument is like complete bullshit. Like, it don't even make sense. It don't even make sense. So, but that's one of them that they use. Like, that's the main one. That's the one I hear. Like, in fact, when I was walking my dog, I go past this house and they have two signs in the yard. They both say the same thing. And that's what they say. A woman should have the right to do what she wants with her body. Right? And then again, another example of where this is not true is with drug addicts. A woman that's on drugs is doing what she wants with her body. And it's a crime. Why is that a crime? If she wants to get high, she should be able to get high. Whatever that means to her. If she want to shoot shit in her veins, she's not shooting shit in other people's veins. She's shooting it in her veins. Because she wants to feel better. That's how she knows how to feel better. That's how she deals with life. Just the difficulty she's facing. That's how she gets away. That's whatever. Why is that a crime? Why are women put in jail for that? She's doing what she wants with her body. She want to fucking smoke crack? She should be able to. It shouldn't be a crime. And she's not forcing somebody else to smoke crack. So again, that whole argument is bullshit. And then I'm not gonna get to that yet. What's the other argument? I know that one. I ain't gonna talk about partial birth abort. I ain't gonna talk about that one. But I did. I remember reading about what they call partial birth abortion, like a lot of years ago. And I was reading because Hillary, if I remember right, Hillary Clinton was in support of that. And so I was reading something about where she was explaining why partial birth abortion, partial birth baby murder is legal or should be legal. And so, like, the legal definition, from what I remember reading, the legal definition of a life is the baby's head has to break the womb of the mother. Meaning, like, well, not the womb. It has to basically, the baby's head has to come out through the vagina before it's considered a life. And as long as it's inside the vagina, it's not considered a life. And so, like, with this, I'm not even, like, that partial birth baby murder, because I used to read about this shit. And I'm just gonna leave that alone, because this video might, if I talk about that, I just can't see this being allowed to be on YouTube, because it's so fucking barbaric and inhumane and just evil. So I'm gonna leave that alone. And matter of fact, I'm gonna leave this whole conversation alone. I was gonna talk about Margaret Sanger. And I actually learned this from Kanye, because Kanye, I seen a video of him talking about the white, why he wore the White Lives Matter shirt. And then, they started asking him some questions about other things. No, he had on a lanyard with a fetus on it. And so I guess he like just came from Paris from wearing the White Lives Matter shirt. So the guy interviewing him was like, so what's up with, what's the lanyard, blah, blah, blah. He's like, it's a picture of a fetus. And so in him talking about that, he talked about how, and I'm not clear if this was just New York City or, nationwide. I remember he did mention New York City, but I also, feel like he said nationwide, maybe in another interview. But anyway, 50%, this is according to Kanye, or Ye, as his name is Ye now. According to Ye, 50% of black babies die from what they call abortion or baby murder. He said that the most dangerous place for a black baby to be is in their mother's womb. That shit is crazy. And so in talking about that, the name Margaret Sanger came up. And according to this interview, and I researched it a little bit, and I did find some evidence to support it. I found some evidence that, spoke against it, which I'm not surprised about the evidence that speaks against it, because we live in a world that suppresses the truth. This world is fueled by lies and deceit and hate. So I'm not surprised about the counters. I personally, I don't believe them. I believe what I read about, and I believe which was consistent with what Ye said. But Margaret Sanger was basically like a white supremacist. And she's the one that came up with Planned Parenthood, with the goal being to kill as many black babies as possible in an effort to just eliminate the black race. That's what I read, and I mean, I'm just saying, it's really interesting that, again, I can't say this statistic is true, that what Ye said about 50% of black, however he said, 50% of like black death is from abortion. I kind of want to look it up right now, but I'm not. But that's just a really interesting statistic. And, he's like really pissed off about that. Me, I'm not in that world. That shit is not in my world. I'm in a totally different world. So, and in my world, none of that shit just don't exist. I don't give attention to that, because at the end of the day, hey, whether a woman chooses to kill her baby or not, has nothing to do with me. If that's what she wants to do, it's because she feels that that's what she needs to do. She feels it's the best thing to do. She's just doing what she feels is best for her at that moment. It ain't even, I don't even feel like I have a place to agree or disagree with it. Just my thing is just, why not you just call it what the fuck it is? Like, why are you like sugarcoating the shit? You know what I'm saying? Just call it what it is. Just be honest about the shit. That's my whole thing. I guess it's like, why lie about it? Or, like, if you gotta change the name of shit and use like specific language to make what you're doing like easier to do, to make it easier to stomach, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. That's my thing. Like, if you're gonna do it, then, do the shit. Do it proudly. Yeah, I got an appointment today at 11 o'clock to kill my baby. And that's that. But the fact that you can't say that, and the fact that they have to change the names of everything to get you to do that, there's definitely an agenda. And I'm not even going to talk about how baby murder is big business. How a lot of money is being made off of aborted baby, off of murdered babies. They would say aborted fetuses. See how they cleaned that up and make it? No, it's fucking murdered babies. And a lot of money is being made off of them. There's a whole like black market for organs and cells and just all kind of shit. Well, I'm not even gonna talk about that. But it's a business. It's big business there. There's a lot of money to be made, and anywhere there's money to be made, there's definitely gonna be lies, deceit, and corruption involved. So that's all I got to say about baby murder. I don't know. If you got something to say, you got a comment, feel free to leave it. If you want to talk shit, I don't care. Whatever. But everything I said is the truth. I know that. And I'm out.